I think it's a good idea if us units go and distract the guards, since Net clearly hates us the most, which means they might use more people than necessary to push us away. So, while units go and distract them, two others can like hide in the bushes and shoot anesthetics at the guards. They are the babies, which means they need to be at the safe place with something to defend them. While we do this, we will use this signal. And if Diabas hear it, you guys can sneak inside the building to drop the bomb, and while there are it also save Leader He because we need to save that girl. If they you caught, Net probably likes you guys the most, so you will be fine. I haven't decided yet what fuses, Tamoons, Varas and Goldenness can do. Some catering during the event would be nice. Welcome back at my channel. So, let me start this video with saying congrats to the boys and the Diabas who did their best to stream and vote, etc. This is a video about my final thoughts about
Road to Kingdom.
To kinda stop myself of just having an hour-long rant, I decided on some topic I wanted to talk about. And if you can't handle me shitting on fans and antis, just leave. This is not your video. This is just a fact. We all know we, or at least I, only watched the show for on and off's reactions. Like I said in my other video, I can't blame the groups if they vote with a strategy. I know how much some people are against that, but it's a show they all desperately wanted to win. If I were them, I would also vote with a strategy rather than on the group which I liked the best. And I'm quite sure it has happened. It's not that I don't trust people. Well, I actually don't trust people. But while I do think their votes are way fairer than the public votes, they were all biased, which is completely fine. But I just want people to accept the fact there's a big chance people voted with a strategy. That aside, I just don't trust the votes because it's Net. Like with the public vote, they said people are voting. But I don't know. I just can't believe Net. I would have liked to see some proof there were actually people who were voting. It would have made it way more easy to trust the voting system. And yes, I know, some people don't want to be on camera, but you can blur people. It's not that hard. It's literally an effect you can just drag and drop. Shouldn't be that hard to use. And everything just felt forced. 1 second you have someone being friendly with someone because they know each other and are friends, and the other second they hate each other. Like what the fuck, Net? At least make it less obvious you want to create some drama. Let me first state, this is not against the groups, this is against people who watched the show. The groups have nothing to do with the issue other than the fact I'm naming them because it's easier to compare the performances, because they have similar vibes. So this was just a roughly, I don't know, everyone who made it their mission to hate and bring down Pentagon. Which are quite a lot of people, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be about half of the people who watched the program. I just would like to ask those people, why are the boys and Onias allowed to put up a sad performance and Pentagon isn't? Well, that's not even true, because I also saw people coming at the Heroine collab. But back to Pentagon, if you had at least half a brain cell you would know they didn't do the Shine Spring Show performance because they wanted sympathy votes. They wanted to give Jinho a proper goodbye. They wanted to give their oldest member, who has trained for 8 years before he could debut in a group, which as much as I would like to deny it has a very high chance of disbanding next year when Hui goes to the military. Even Jinho himself said that he doesn't know what he will come back to after he is done with his military service. They just wanted to make their last performance with Jinho a memorable one. To be fair, it's probably a goodbye stage for all the members, since they all, except Yuto and Yanan, need to go to the military soon, and it's honestly a shame Cube didn't let Yanan join, even if it was just a one-time thing, because that would have made this performance even more special. And you guys say they did it just to get some views. Just get a heart, because you clearly don't have one. This statement is also valid for the Heroine performance. Yes, it might have been weaker in terms of energy, but it's the message that matters. for both performances. It just feels like men aren't allowed to make a touching performance because emotions are scary and men shouldn't show emotions. Because men are men and men aren't allowed to have emotions. To be fair, I honestly think Net just thought Onius was the easiest group to shit on. People who know me and people who I talk to know I have said multiple times Pentagon has not a lot of people who are there more who are loyal to them. But Onius in on a whole other level regarding that, to be honest. I know like 2 people who alt them and are loyal to them and that's about it. I just think Ned also saw that and was like, we need to shit on someone so it might as well be Onius since we don't see any of their fans complaining very fast. Besides that, the boys have the biggest fandom who are quite active on Twitter I believe, so that's something scary. Pentagon is a name that is well known in the industry. If we make them look bad, people from the industry might hate us. They gave on and off the underdog role. Everyone always loves a good underdog. 2 is their own group. They are the least likely group they would mess with. And Golden Child and Very have well loved seniors in Korea. And yes, Onius has Mamamoo as their senior. But Net already did Mamamoo dirty multiple times. So I don't think they really care for what they think. As messed up as it is, they had to do at least one group dirty, because Net has a reputation to keep and they just picked Onius. Yes, it was actually a coincidence. Or at least I'm quite sure it was. Why? The groups were listened in the order they performed. On and Off was last, so they were the lowest on the list. If it was another group that performed last, they would have been in that spot and would have had the same problem. Now, looking at the technical side of things, if there are people watching this who are studying or have studied front or back end development, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Since this is coming from one of those graphic designers you guys hate. But the app was most likely made to be responsive, which means it changes depending on the screen size. Just compare the design of a website on a computer with the same one on your phone. They look different because the screen size is different. So it might have been that your phone screen wasn't big enough to fully show all the groups. That's why the button was there. I personally didn't even notice the button, since I was too busy with trying to make the app work, so I could actually vote. Going back to the button, the placement of the button is described in the code, and I'm quite sure it's in a part of the code that's the same in the complete app. Because you're not gonna write code for every page if you can just solve it with one line of code in the body or CSS or wherever you're supposed to put it. So for the people who want to say Net paid them to put the button there, nobody got time for that. People would need to write a lot of extra code to make it possible the button is only placed there on that specific page. And I'm not even sure if that would be possible at all. Assuming you see the final as the 4th round, since that's the official 4th round, I have to admit the only 2 performances that managed to grab my attention were Ones and Pentagon. The others were, well, underwhelming might be a bit too much, but they didn't manage to grab my attention at all. My phone was more interesting than those performances. So I agree, not the best round.
우린 간다 신세계로 Please come back home 우리의 익숙한 길로 돌아와줘 come back home 맘을 덮친 전율에 이미 돌이킬 수 없어 어둠에 거친 순간에 겹친 찬란한 moonlight 분명히 맡길 주문에 걸린 새로운 bus stop 누가
채워 photo 내게 뺏긴 시선 모두 남김없이 채워 photo 내게 뺏긴 시선 모두 남김없이 채워 photo 더 세게 숨을 끌어당겨 널 사랑하는 찌질이 그래 나는 모조리 난 너한테는 거머리 어쩌래 이 세상 너 하나면 돼 Please come back 돌아와줘 come back Let's kill this love Yeah 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 Bum 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 bum
So I guess this was it. See you again. And for those who are gonna unsubscribe because of this video, bye. See you never.